I just fixed it, but the brand color was like yellow. Oh, because
Right.
we went like, oh, hey everybody, welcome to Twitch Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, now back on Tuesday, now on YouTube. Nailed it. My name is Nat. That is Dylan. I am crafting up a tweet right now. I was on TikTok. Did not realize it was already time to go live, but here we are. How are you doing today? How are you doing today, Dylan? How's your day going?
You know, not so bad. Real quick.
Yeah.
It's a little better.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I switched back at the right moment. That was just tabs. Yeah, looking good with the
Yeah.
purple. I was confused why it was yellow at first, but then I realized we did that hangout for Spectacular.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you get that? Oh, that was from when everybody else was doing it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Malcolm says, "Hello, guys. Hello, Malcolm."
Malcolm, what's up, buddy?
Malcolm, hang around, dude. We're talking all sorts of stuff. We're talking Schmo Down, Spectacular, kind of. We're gonna talk Hot D, definitely. We're talking Andor. We got a good show for you, Malcolm. So you need to hang around. Don't you go anywhere. While we do our normal prep run, definitely not pulling up our stuff on other channels. How was my day today? Let me tell you how my day today was, Nat. Today marks the very first day of Dylan Camacho's private practice opening right here in my own home.
Oh.
So.
Okay. How did that go?
It was okay. It was okay. I only saw 3 clients today. But I opened my home office. This is a business I've been working on for a while. So I've got to, as a therapist, open my own private practice. My practice is officially open, and I literally run it out of my own home, where I have a downstairs office. And I got to see clients here for the very first time after many months of hard work. So, humble brag, killing it right now.
Very cool. Yeah, you should brag. That's a kind of a big deal.
How about you?
Yeah, my day's going pretty good. I just had some Subway. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I go off keto whenever the office brings in free food. So I was like,
that seems like a really thin line to sit there and go off of keto. Really, any moment they drop food.
Okay, well, I go off keto like less than Kelsey does. All right, Kelsey goes a month on keto, then a week not keto. I just take one day. I get back on keto right away. So, what better use to have my cheat day than some Subway?
It's true. No better way to use that to stop that ketosis than Subway. If you're a enjoyer of Subway, you make sure to let us know by giving us a nice big old fat Prime sub, or that's a Prime Twitch subscription, whatever. Prime. There we go. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm getting all my terms mixed up. Damn it. Tuesday, Wednesday, YouTube, Tuesday. God.
That's right. We're here. We're doing it.
Bantering aside, because that's not what all the viewers want to know. Danny wants to know. Hi. Hand wave.
Hi.
Hot D, you say? Yeah, we've got the hottest Dickens here. But before we get into our normal content, we've got to talk about this little tiny event that happened over the weekend.
Nat? Yeah. I didn't. Spectacular was this week. Hey, Alan Smithy in the chat. He says, Nat, Danny, Malcolm. No, sorry, Dylan. Your name's Dylan. You're not Danny. Yeah. I pulled a Jake there. Called you another Asian.
Well, we all look the same to Jake. That's for sure. Hello, Smithy, my best friend in the chat. Unless Ben's in here, then it's Ban, and then Smithy in no particular order. It depends.
No order at all.
I like saying Ben's name a little bit more, Smithy, but that's
it's a fun name to say. To be fair,
it's so fun.
Yeah. So I didn't watch Spectacular yet because I know when I do watch it, that means it's really over. So just leave that chapter unclosed.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just slam the book. I'm going to talk about each match in detail very quickly and talk about the winners, losers, and everything in between. So let's talk about Schmodown Spectacular. The winners were people who weren't fans of the Schmodown because it's over. You know, it's done now. It's only been done for a few months. Spectacular is kind of it's just a little kudos on the way out, but it was fun. some spoilers for those who may have not caught it. Just Nat, I think. Ben finally got to answer or sing the 42601 question, the prisoner number from Les Mis.
Okay.
Know what I'm
That's
talking about?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, Ben Bateman finally got to sing it because he's been wanting that question forever. Other cool things that happened. Oh, Asians took over the team's division. That was
really
good. Yeah.
Who was King Khan's partner?
Paul Oyama.
Oh hell yeah! Oh
you
yeah! Love that.
You would have loved it, Nat. You would have loved it. You'll never watch it, but I know that you would have loved it.
I will watch it eventually when I have like the 4 hours to spare.
Dude, it's like a 7-hour show. So
well, okay. I thought it was shorter than that. So when I have like a full day dedicated to, because I haven't watched the Schmodown since probably they announced that it was over.
Yeah.
Because like it's
it's hard. It's hard now. It's hard to go and watch something that is gone. Like I think in a lot of ways this is our way of processing grief. We're sitting here, we're talking about something we've committed ourselves to for. I mean, especially so. What, 5 years? 6?
Yeah, 5 years since the Action Army page I think was created in like 2017. That's when I joined.
So 2017 is Action Army page, call to action, all that. Us being a part of it, involved, and really being what it is now. I mean, we put a half a decade into this, so it is hard to sit there and finally concede that the product for which we've been caring about and has brought us really all together as a fan base has finally come to its conclusive end, so to speak. And yeah, I was with you. I was with you 100%. I was almost not going to watch it. I know we were doing our watch party and everybody was kind of getting on board with that. But I think my big thing was that I was like, do I actually don't want to be spoiled by some of these matches. I don't want to see somebody say, oh, between Dan Murrell and Sam Levine, who won that match. And then, oh, between the Inner Geekdom, 5-way, and seeing Chandru and Smets and some of all of our favorite people kind of have their last little hurrah. I felt almost disrespectful to not watch it. That being said, I did skim a lot because that's a 7-hour something show. So you got to trim that fat down. Happy to say, Nat, this was better than the finale. This was a better finale than Game of Thrones. # free Jessica. Smithy says the final rundown is live right now. It's got Harloff, Ellis, Levine, Merle, and Mara. But I'm here with C2A.
Maybe we should have stayed on Wednesdays. That's you didn't know the rundown was live.
You know what? You think? Listen, I didn't care about the Schmodown of clashing events before. I sure as shit don't count now that it's over. But
I had no idea this. Is the rundown always on Tuesdays? That's wild.
I have no idea if it is or well. And Smithy, first of all, thank you for still hanging out with C2A because who's always going to be buttering your bread. No pun intended.
Appreciate you.
Also, you should probably pull it up on a second monitor. Let us know if there's anything interesting going on because we're just talking about our usual shit. But to the whole point of that, right? We get to see, kind of a conclusive thing. And now that it's all said and done, I've had some time after watching Spectacular. I will say this: I think I'm getting into the acceptance phase where I'm like, okay, life goes on. Because I'll tell you, going from one internet family to another internet family, and I've talked about this before. Rundown is off the air. This is a special. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I was like, Rundown, what the fuck? I got the cover right now. They ain't got shit. Anyway,
I'm looking at my subscriptions, and I was like, do I not subscribe to the Rundown?
Yeah,
I don't see it. I see the PJ Campbell number.
Yeah,
we got twice as many viewers as they do. So I'm just saying.
No, I think the biggest thing for me about this has been accepting that this is goodbye but not farewell. And I think the farewell aspect for me is feeling like this is going to disconnect C2A. I feeling like this is going to disconnect us from doing our streaming and usual stuff. But as me and you have thoroughly proven within the last couple of years with this show especially, Schmodown does not have to no longer be our only basis of a friendship and the friendships that we've connected with the people along the way. And I know it's the cliche. It's about the friends we made along the way. Yes. And it is. But I think more importantly for me, it's just sitting here and saying okay, what do we geek out about now? And then Alex is Asian squat. And I was just like, you know what, Alex, this is it. Just the random fucking things that you bring in For those who don't know,
Yeah, explain it to the people who are not aware.
all right. So, for those non-Asian aficionados out there, there is a squat, most commonly known as the Asian squat. Actually, I didn't know it was referred to as an Asian squat either.
I had no idea this was a thing. I
Yeah,
just assumed everyone could do it.
yeah, same. So apparently, the squat of being on flat on your feet and squatting down all the way into your legs is something traditionally done by Asian cultures whenever they're stuck in waiting in lines or positions, or just really whenever it's most convenient. And Alex, Mac herself, had posted a TikTok saying like this is a distinctly Asian thing. So I tested it, posted my own video, passed because of course, and apparently that's Alex's contribution. This is how we geek out now. If you're wondering what a C2H chat is like without Schmodown, it's mostly us talking about food, Asian squats, Hot D every now and again. Danny Joy will come in and tell us random facts and then disappear as quickly as she came. Classic. And yeah, I know. And Jake kind of talking shit and getting hit.
You would not believe the amount of shit Jake's talks about every single one of you in the community. He just talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's like,
I had no idea this was a thing. Me either. I had no idea.
I had no idea this was an Asian thing, rather. I choose to believe it's one of those things we've just claimed and taken, as we should. Oh, this reminds me now. I didn't tell you this. So remember when I was posting pictures from the Bowling Green International Festival where I live, and I was showing that sweet adobo and the Filipino food that I was posting in chat.
Sure.
So I passed by a booth in at our little square, and it was the Asian American Association, and it was AAA, and I was like, son of a bitch. I want to take a picture and send it. I wanted to take a picture and send it, but it was kind of like an emptier space, and it was gonna look way too obvious, and there was no good way for me to do it. So I was kind of like, "Fuck, dude, I'm not gonna do this here. I live here."
Oh man, I wish you did, because has that always been a thing? Did you just rip that off?
No, I have. I've known about that since the entire time. That's like literally where AAA for me.
That's where it came from. That's what AAA stands for real.
Asian American Association. Yeah.
Because I've looked it up. I've looked up AAA. I've never gotten that.
Yeah.
I thought so. So here's some inside baseball now that the Schmodown's over.
Yeah.
I always thought it stood for Asian Action Army. That was
it has also been that too. Because it's the best parts of the Action Army, the Asian parts.
Yo, what? That was oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Mind blown. Mind blown for Nat today.
Yeah, so the Asian squat. Can white people really not do that? Like just like flat on your feet, squat down. Because I don't even squat that much, like when I'm waiting for stuff.
Mm-mm.
But I can do it.
Yeah. Can you do it? I haven't seen you do it, Nat. I want to see. I kind of want to see you do it. I've posted video proof of me doing it.
I can post a video. That's fine, but not right now. I'm not wearing pants.
That's fine. That's even funnier to me, actually.
I'll post it in the chat later.
He says Asian Action Army is still my headcanon. That's fair. That's what most people knew it as, and truthfully, it's probably what it is. But
have we ever said that Asian Action Army when you asked me what the AAA?
No, we've never. No, every time no, we've said that in AAA before. I'm sure
we have.
Yeah.
So I think if we did say it, it would have to have been the first episode or not at all, because I don't think I would have just stuck that in there in the middle.
No, definitely not.
Maybe the last episode.
Maybe. What was our last episode?
We brought it back for the one-time thing.
We did bring it back for the one-off with Meg's in it. What was that last episode before then,
though? Jeff Snyder.
Was it? It probably was Snyder, wasn't it?
Maybe. That was at least one of our last ones.
I'm curious now. Hold on. Let me look at this playlist. The last AAA Live was about Bibs and kayfabe. No, so this was just us.
Oh
my god! Oh my gosh! Hold on, really quick. Oh, Alex came on this episode too.
Oh, okay.
So can I just say, you want to see what 2020 did to us? So this was May 2020. So we're only like a couple months into it. Really quick.
That was after our first award.
This was after the first award. Look at you.
Oh yeah.
Look at me.
Two completely different people. We've been changed by the pandemic.
Wow. I feel like we both look distinctly older afterwards.
We look so much older.
Yeah.
We're babies.
This was 2 years ago, Nats.
Jesus.
A little
we both
over.
have different backgrounds now too.
I know. Well, I've moved locations. You've moved locations.
I've moved rooms. You moved places, houses.
Yeah. Looking good, boys. I know. You know what? So, say what you will about how we looked at that time. We aged good.
We aged good.
We aged good.
Like fine wine.
Like Asians do. Asians, we've
I mean,
aged like sake is what we've aged.
Up until a certain point. Like once we
and then we hit a point where we're just old as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's right around like 66 to 70.
Yeah.
Then we just look old, and we are very old at that point.
Oh, super old.
Where we are talking on a mountain next to a waterfall old. You know what amazes me?
What's that?
It's that this How to Beat Dan Morrell episode in AAA's playlist still exists.
I know, it's right there.
Can I, just for old time's sake, since we're talking Schmodown just a little bit, can we... I don't even remember what my audio was for this. What was the...
I don't think there was audio. It was just the rising sun.
I guess there wasn't. It was just, I know I started with the rising sun. Oh man, Nat, you look.
Oh my god, when was this? This was before awards, wasn't it?
This was
just after.
This is after. This is February 20.
This is just after.
Yeah, we had won the awards, and then this is like maybe the very next month.
Look at that hair. I had that's freshly cut from like a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh, kayfabe with talking about Goddard. Ooh. This isn't aging good already. This episode, you know what? Talking about parts of this episode, every part of this episode didn't age good. We got a discussion talking about Goddard. We talk about Dan Morrell and Competitor's Corner, which got a lot of heat, as some may know. And no, that's just it. I think that's the whole part of it. Wow. What a stroll down memory lane our content is. COVID says. Alan says, COVID is what I'm motivated to grow a beard, and I like beard me way better than clean shaven me. You know what, Alan? I like beard you too, but I like clean shaven Alan all the same because you're a lovely human being and you deserve to hear that more often. And I hope you know that. Me personally, I've realized that full beard me, not the most handsome me. A little bit of scruff me right here, not too deep, but not too. Yeah, this is kind of optimal, Dylan. I think this is. I mean, Nat, what do you think? You see me on a weekly enough basis. Do you feel like this is kind of like the best facial hair growth for me?
I think
maybe a little bit thicker.
It's hard to compare. I think you have all good looks. I think this is probably the optimal one. I would prefer a longer beard for me personally. But yeah, I think this is a good look. Like some of us don't really have a lot of choices.
Yeah, this is the patchy Filipino genetics with this trashy white genetics, and it's the more it kind of grows in, it gets to a certain point that it's like okay, but I don't have like a I think like it's the curse. The European beard, the really white people beard, have like such a thick, and it just makes sense. Mine's like scraggly and like it's just kind of like a mess. Now that being said, this part right here, I'm killing this. Goatee and stash. If I just did that and I ever commit to that, that's gonna be fucking it for me. Like that's the look.
That's it.
Or just straight mustache because Filipinos fucking kill it right here. How are those? How are the Vietnamese with
the what?
How's that genetics?
Not good.
Yeah.
So legitimately, I tried for like a month and a half, not shaved at all. Did not look any different. So there you go.
I would say I'm jealous, but facial hair is kind of fun. So, but you know what? You're always gonna look more youthful, and that's gonna be much more valuable much sooner rather than later. So
I've passed the point where I get carded for drinks, so I think that's the sweet spot where you look youthful, but you don't have to show your ID every time you get a drink?
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time I get a drink now, they look at me and they're like, yeah, whatever you want, buddy. They don't bat an eye. They definitely don't bat an eye with me anymore. So that's no surprise. I'm a 30-something business owner. Yeah, I look my age probably at that point. I don't know. I probably still look not so bad for 32. But enough talking about us. Enough talking about Schmodown. Do you want to know who won their matches though?
Not particularly, but if you want to spoil that, I don't mind.
No. I wouldn't say there's really any big surprises.
Yeah,
That's maybe a spoiler in itself, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
so the favorites all won, the underdogs all lost. That's what I'm taking this as.
Probably. Actually, I'll spoil this. The Asians won.
God damn, that was the one match I didn't want spoiled.
Well, you should have said that before then.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember who they played.
Also, I meant to say my heart is what I was gonna finish up with. They play Shazam.
Oh, that's sad because I like Shazam. Brendan Meyer, first guess. No chill.
Honorary. Honestly, also another honorary Asian. I know we gave Jeff Slander on honorary Asian ones, but Meyer has done enough for us in our time with him that he gets an honorary Asian card.
Can you believe that we're friends with a minor celebrity? That's crazy. I think about that often.
Okay, here's a fun question. Who's a bigger celebrity? Ethan Irwin or Brendan Meyer?
Brendan Meyer.
Yeah.
I think that
executives don't really count, right?
Yeah. Like when I'm talking about the Schmodown to people, like, so I'm friends with this dude who is in a movie with Nicolas Cage and also The Rock. I was like, that Brendan Meyer is the example I use. Yeah. No offense to Ethan Irwin, he's also not just an honorary Asian, an actual Asian.
Actual Asian Ethan Irwin, yes.
But his name does not come up because I feel like the common person would not know him.
Yeah.
The common person probably wouldn't know Brendan Meyer either. But I can say he's in the OA. He's in The Guest. I can name
him. The Guest?
Yeah. I didn't know that when I watched it.
I didn't know that either.
Like, is that my friend Brendan Meyer?
Is that beloved Canadian ally Brendan the Kid Meyer?
It was him.
That's wild. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to go rewatch that now.
Yeah, he plays the son or the brother.
I'm glad to be able to introduce Sabrina Ramirez. Ooh, she did not get back to our DMs.
It's because you said Buzz.
I know, it's because I said Buzz at the end. And that's fine. Sabrina is a lovely person all the same, even if she doesn't get back to our DMs. It's not like a certain point of view. It's okay. It's fine. Anyways, let's talk about some shows. I want to bring the mood up a little bit. It feels a little too somber because of the Schmodown. So people are trying to look for a distraction. We're losing viewers by the second.
Oh, sorry.
Love is Blind. No, we're not talking Love is Blind.
New season's not even out. I don't know. Actually,
no.
The reunion is out. We can talk about that. Let's talk about Love is Blind now. Let's talk about. You want to talk about She-Hulk or Hot D?
I want to talk about She-Hulk. Actually, no, I want to talk about She-Hulk because this episode very high up there for me. But I'm gonna go on a rant. So you do you. I'll do my rant after.
This is the problem with doing a show on Tuesdays. What was last week's episode?
It was Obama or Obama Stay.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So I also really like this episode. Mm-hmm. I like that they tease Daredevil and then they just don't show him for 2 episodes at all. How many episodes are left? I think so. This was like episode 7. I think so there's like 2 episodes left. If I'm wrong,
I think it's episode 8, isn't it?
Is it?
Mid-season was 6, and
then there's 9 episodes to this season.
Oh, if there's 9, then this was episode 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna confirm and double check real quick.
Danny says I don't like nice guy Josh. So I was gonna bring that up because Danny was like, nice guys don't actually say they're nice guys. So did he say he was a nice guy? I don't remember that part.
But he's not a nice guy. That dude's a piece of shit, or he was, and now he's learning about himself. So really quick.
Yeah.
This episode's great, but there's this perpetuating theory going around that this is all going to be a turn on the heel for Abomination and that whole crew. Like this is all going to be like
Oh,
a heel flip on them to sit there and kind of lure Jen into deleting the number, putting space in between it because they're all working with Josh as well.
Josh.
Josh, fucking Asian guy.
I knew it was trouble with Jennifer's version. I don't know what that means. Is that Taylor Swift reference?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay, because Jennifer is She-Hulk. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I really like this episode.
All right, that's good. I got it now too. I got it. I got it 1 second behind you, Dad.
There you go. There you go.
All right,
I really like this episode. I don't think it was one of the stronger ones, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice feel good episode. I think that I kind of liked the idea that Abomination is actually reformed.
I do too.
And I kind of hope he doesn't come back as a bad guy.
No, I hope he doesn't. No, I actually don't even hope that he goes into the movie either. Thunderbolts. Yeah, I hope that they don't turn him and do that.
I wouldn't hate it because I feel like that team needs a powerhouse.
Yeah,
with actual superpowers.
Right. It's gonna feel weird to have the Soviet be on there though, and not have him be kind of the meatiest, bulkiest dude, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. We need a Red Guardian to be the something of the team,
right?
But no, I enjoyed it. I think I saw the twist coming a mile away. It wasn't really a twist. It was just kind of something that was telegraphed. I also never trusted Josh because superheroes can't have fulfilling love lives. I mean, that's just the thing. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about She-Hulk because nothing really big happens.
So nothing really particularly big happens as a plot, but I'll say as a therapist watching group therapy interactions.
Oh, are you a therapist?
I haven't said it in a minute.
Oh,
everybody loves it when I do this. You know that.
Yeah.
The group therapy stuff on this was actually really fun. Not just funny. I actually think it wasn't a terrible representation of what group therapy actually looks like. So for me, that's a big win. I always love it whenever I see therapy kind of done right. Now, this is still a bit of a Marvel dramatization of it, but overall, the roles and the crutches on it, not terrible. I thought it was pretty relatable. I'm like, this is a believable group. I think that if this was sure, you put the believable group in this world, yeah, these characters all play in it. I think Jen having that that really affirming moment and then feeling like I can delete this number and kind of do that, I think was actually all really lovely. It just felt very wholesome in a lot of ways, and I think that that's fine. This doesn't need to be the funniest episode in the world, although I still laughed at times. I think there's something really funny about the fact that there's a bull, a man bull, and a guy who has a matador complex, and they're just fighting for no good reason, and they smash the car, and that's the intro to the episode, and I'm like, that's really funny. I like our fourth wall previously on record guy. Yeah, I like that.
That was a really good fourth wall break. That was love that. I wouldn't have remembered who he was.
No, yeah, I didn't either. I was like, "What? Wait, who is the?" Everybody having a steam and doing all that, just good stuff. Good stuff. I like that the PO, the probation officer, literally squeals out as soon as he's like, "Well, looks like it's good," and then the car is just squealing out next second, and I'm just like, that's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I did miss the side characters. I feel like this episode could have used more Nikki and used more Pug. I love those two.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, Pug. I haven't talked about him yet, but it is weird seeing him in this role because if you don't know, he plays Adrian Chase, aka the Vigilante, aka Prometheus, in season 4 of Arrow, and he's the main villain of that season, and he's actually amazing. So it's weird to see him as this kind of nice coworker guy,
right?
Who goes by Pug.
He does look like a CW actor now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, no,
he's got that handsome, but not so handsome. It's unrelatable, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's CW handsome.
So part of me is is he gonna be the bad guy because he's really good at it?
But he does. Yeah, I don't think he is though.
I don't think he is.
Anyways, Yeah, I wish I had more to talk about this. It's just a really good episode. My favorite part is a poster being on the back where it just says "Abom Stay."
Obama, yeah,
Abom Stay.
that's so
Yeah.
good. I actually kind of like that we don't have much to talk about in Witchy Hall because um, we don't constantly need MCU shows with like big reveals, big plot
No.
moves that influence the entire universe. I think it's just a fun slice of life show, like a lawyer show,
Mm.
and that's fine.
Nikki had a Filipino flag pin on last week with Mr. Immoral. Mortal, Danny. It's Immortal, not Mr. Immoral, although that's
He
probably
is
not.
pretty immoral.
He's pretty immoral, though. But we're going to ban you for that mistake.
Oh, let me do it. I'm gonna time you out.
Yeah, put him in timeout.
5 minutes. That wasn't me, Danny. That was all Dylan's request.
Yep. Figure out how to spell. Anyway, so we wanna move on to the piping hot course.
Oh, wait. Do you want to talk about Andor?
Yeah, I'll talk about Andor at the end.
Oh, okay. Let's talk.
That'll be dessert. That'll be dessert. We're gonna cool it off with a little bit of Andor. But let's get this piping hot plate of hot D out there. Wow, this episode. We're doing stuff now.
It was so I had mentioned this in chat where like, oh, holy shit, that's a good episode. And then Kelsey was like, I know, right? Hot D. I was like, okay, Kelsey, I probably like this for different reasons than you do.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I like that part, but I also like everything else. I was like, I like it for a very specific reason. Now, Dylan, you know me very well. So what I'm about to say is probably not going to shock you.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things to see is in movies or TV is kids getting the shit beat out of them. and that's what we got. I do love that. And that's what we got this episode. I mean, it went a little further than I would have expected with the eye.
It could have gone further than that.
It could have gone further. But I loved it. Like this kid just went wailing on these two girls, and it was like, holy shit! Now we're getting somewhere.
Right.
But no, I really like this episode. I feel like the whole time skip thing that they're doing is really paying off well because there's character development that we don't necessarily see, and that speeds things along, but in a way that doesn't feel off. I really like the sentence of madness that Allison's going through. Because if you look at episode 1 and look at her now, completely different person, and I mean that literally. It's a different actress.
Literally, yeah.
But character wise, Danny says Daniel Cost, excuse me, Hot Dragons is what we're talking about. Yeah. The D stands for dragon. But I really like the whole dynamic between Allison and Rhaenyra. I think it. So I don't know if you picked up on this like I did, but I kind of got the sense that there was like some kind of romantic tension between the two of them.
Yeah. I remember thinking like very early on that I was like, oh, there's like an implication that they're like, they're almost like smashing or something, right? Or there's like a romantic like love investment, but they never show that. I mean, never show too much, right? They show you just enough to kind of give you like a suspicion.
Yeah, and it makes sense given her reaction to her father picking her as his next wife. But it just like blows my mind that where we started and where we are at now, because they feel like very different characters, but in a way that makes sense given what they've gone through. And when I tell you, when Rhaenyra came up with the plan to frame Laenor's death, I was shocked, especially given that I was like, Laenor deserves the world. He's such a good guy, and they kind of like, I completely forgot that Daemon killed that random person just to frame it. I was like, did they actually kill Laenor? Like that's
no, I'm with you. Up until he flips his hood off, even then I was just like, did Rhaenyra just make a plan to sit there and go around her? I'm like, no, that's part of the plan. This is all part of the plan. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I had to have like a moment where I'm like, oh, this is all by design.
This is all by design.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm loving it. I love the dragon stuff. I love the what's his name? Larys.
Yes.
Larys Strong. He's such a good villain.
Yeah.
I feel like this show needed like a Littlefinger like character who's like scheming in the background.
I know we were lacking the Game of Thrones schemers in there.
Yes, we had Otto Hightower, who was kind of a schemer, but not to the level of like pulling the strings.
Yeah,
Laris did, and I love that he's being paired up with Allison.
Yeah,
because now I don't know who's gonna win this war.
Who's slowly becoming more unhinged as time goes along, right? Like,
I mean, he killed his own father and brother just to please the queen.
Right.
So hot D, yeah, William Harold. It doesn't necessarily have to stand for dragons. It can stand for a lot of things. Like could stand for Daemon.
We never said dragon. Never always said hot Daemon. Hot Dickens. That's what Matt Smith dropped to his niece this episode, which is probably why Kelsey likes this episode.
Probably why.
Daniel says Team Green or Team Black. The white person in me says I don't see color. The Asian part in me says Team Green.
You're Team Green.
No, it's very clearly Team Black. Allison is on her fucking shit. She's mad that they're playing the game with her now, and that's okay. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm actually Team Green. And here's why.
I think I might be Team Green because like there's like bad people on both sides.
There is.
I don't know because there's people I like on both sides. Like that one kid who said that he doesn't want to take over the sea snakes thing.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was. It was like because if I do, that means everyone's dead. Like damn kid, that's fucking true.
It's accurate, dude. This kid gets it. Yeah. So I'll say it. So like, here's what's swaying me to Team Green. They've got the biggest fucking unit of a dragon right now. Holy shit, these kids suck. First of all, most of these kids suck.
I kind of really like Aemon though. He sucks, but I like him.
He sucks, but honestly, he's like, I'm gonna go get that fucking Pokemon, and he did. He fucking caught that Dragonite, and he had no right doing so. But he was just like, you know what? Fucking put fire to me, blow me up. Oh, but don't. I gotta ride you, and then he fucking rides the shit out of that dragon. So that's pretty cool. Also, I've seen there's been a lot of hold on, I'll tell Matt more here in a second in private chat. But Nat, you go ahead and tell me why your allegiances lie where they do.
I honestly don't know because I like and dislike characters from both sides. Sure. I kind of prefer Allison over Rhaenyra, if I'm being honest, because I don't know, man. Olivia Cook. that's pretty much all it takes.
I wasn't totally sold on Olivia Cook until I'm gonna put it in private chat until I came across this recently, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, they're on to something. And that was it for me. That was.
You know what? I knew this was what you were gonna bring up, and I 100% agree. You bring up some good points.
Yeah, and Olivia Cook brought some good points, and I was swayed. And you know what? Team Allison. To be honest, though, Allison's always been as the younger kid.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it. Like I was Team Allison when Emily Carey, I think that's her name.
Yeah, whenever they were in their kid forms or when they're younger forms, rather.
She's only like 4 years younger than Olivia Cook, I think.
I know, but it's just for the sake of narrative.
Yeah.
Not necessarily sake in real life, but whenever the previous actress was playing her. No, I was more Allison. On this one. I think that all the Targaryen bullshit was just a little too much pride and like too much like daddy seeking behavior, and I get it, and it's realistic, and I don't hate the characters for it. But I always felt like Allison was always the character that felt the most interesting out of the bunch. Seeing her see her play the game without necessarily feeling like she's committed to it. And even what Otto says in this episode, he's like, yeah, I feel like you're finally fucking in it now. I feel like you're actually invested. Before you've been playing the game because I've been telling you to play the game. Now it feels like you're playing the game because you're fucking now you like it. Like this is you're in it now. And I think he's right. I think it makes a difference of a character. I think that she's like kind of shitty in it, but it's like it's shitty by design, right? She's sitting here saying like
she's shitty, but like I understand where she's coming from. Like her actions are justified to me. Mm-hmm. Where she was put in this position because of her father. She became the wife of the king, and now she has kids who are in danger because they're a threat to the throne.
Yeah, like she at all points thinks that these kids are gonna eat it because that's the case.
Danny with the $2.99 super sticker.
Super sticker. What the fuck's this? Oh, it's a cat, and it's it's a little fox. It's a little Shiba, and it says, "How's it going,
How's
Danny?"
It going? Good, Danny.
It's going good.
Daniel.
It's going better, Daniel Cost, since you dropped the $2.99. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Danny.
I think Danny Cost has been served his time out. You can come back as Danny
Yeah,
Costume.
Danny can come back if he needs to. But yeah, I would say like overall we're talking about like two moms fighting very vehemently to sit there and do this. But that being said, Team Black, I want to see I want to see both teams succeed in some ways.
Yeah.
I think real quick off this tangent though, the big thing that I've thought every episode is like every time an episode starts and Viserys is still alive, and I'm just like, dude, he's still alive? Holy shit! I thought he was gonna be dead
I
already.
know, he looks so bad, and Corliss has not aged at all.
No, Corliss has not aged at all. Matt Smith hasn't aged at all. Like the girls have, but that's within like reason. They had to have a couple kids since then. But I love that Matt Smith is like has not aged, and he's only deciding to age in the trailer for this next episode. Corliss hasn't messed up at all, but Black don't crack, so that makes sense. I think across the board, it's just been really funny seeing Viserys be aging at like 5 times everybody else's level. And I get it, he's 6, so like that's kind of.
I feel so bad for Viserys. Like he's trying his best. Like he's not a perfect person. He's made some questionable calls, but like he's just trying to keep the peace between his family, and none of them are having it.
He's like, you guys keep going on about having your kids fucking killed, and they don't need to be. I told Rhaenyra, she's gonna get it, and that's it. Like, I don't know why we're fighting about this. Why are we fighting about the kids and all that? Like, fucking stop. Like, and then they're all like, we hear you, but I think she's gonna kill my kids. So I need to kill that snitch bitch. She needs to go. She's a lying, ugly 4. And like she's just go. And it just turns into Mean Girls, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the Mean Girl like banter.
I really like it a lot. I think this is a good way to tell a story. William Harold says Matt Smith might be a vampire.
Is that a pun?
Sorry, that's I agree. He might be a vampire. Is
that a Morbius reference? That sounds like a Morbius.
It's a Morbius reference. Have you seen Morbius yet?
No.
He's a vampire in it. That's the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, speaking of Corliss, like I really liked his line where he was saying, "Blood doesn't matter, names do." Because I knew that's where he was going with it. I said it. I whispered to myself, "Names matter," and then he said it. I was like, "Hell yeah!" But that's an interesting thing because we didn't see anyone named Valerion in Game of Thrones, so he must have not done well.
That name didn't carry.
Didn't carry.
Didn't do so good. The Valerians. Not the sea folk that they are that are supposed to be there later. We get
no, and I was wondering about that because when Laenor and Rhaenyra married, I was like, is their kid gonna be the next heir? Because I don't that would make Daenerys and Jon Snow part black. They look pretty pale to me.
Pretty
white.
They wash those genes out real quick.
And black is supposed to be the dominant gene. So that would not have worked, but I like that they couldn't conceive a child. Like that makes sense in the story that they're telling. But yeah, like I said in the chat, I'm grateful that they made the Valerians black because it was
distinguishing between them at times is like still a little frustrating. Like
it would have been real hard telling these little pale white kids with the white wigs apart. Like Aemon and Aegon look the same, if not for the height difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm really curious to see where they're going with the show. Like I really want to know who's going to be king because like they all have like ways
a stake of some sort to it, right?
And I think it's really interesting because clearly Viserys favors one side over the other. Like he clearly loves Rhaenyra and Emma and that side of the family. He even called Allison Emma at some point. So I think subconsciously he just wants his daughter to succeed, and I don't think he really cares for Aegon and Aemon that much. But at the same time, then people would not. Oh, Danny with the $4.99 super sticker.
Damn, he just put in another Sheba with it.
Sheba doing
headband. It's punching us. Super sticker.
Yeah. So Rhaenyra is the heir, and that makes sense. And her claim is only going to be stronger with Daemon as her her
right? Her now she's doubling down her heir inheritance, right?
Yeah, but also Aemon has a big ass dragon, so
Yeah,
Who
it's a big
knows?
old slithery dragon. You know what I mean? He's got a big old slithery D spitting out fire. Shit. I want to see if they're gonna have a kid by the next Flash Forward, because those kids age up really quickly. So I'm wondering if
I
they're gonna.
think they have to, right? Because I think
You can
they
figure.
wouldn't accept the other kids.
Right. They need a kid that's gonna be the true.
Yeah. Those
Uh,
kids are those other kids are bastards.
those other kids. Yeah. I want to see those kids actually be like Robert Baratheons and be like, "Fuck it, we're gonna smash your shit. We don't care if you have dragons or not." Though I want to see them be like
Yeah.
badasses like that. Like that's kind of how I'm hoping that they're gonna turn out. What I think is real interesting though is that the family, the Strong family that's overruling like the wood, the like little tiny wood families that you're talking about, that's all lore from yes, show and writers and all that. But if you played Telltale's Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
that's the same families that are in that one. I always thought that was a little fun nod for people who'd played that.
Oh, really? I
It's the
didn't
two
realize
warring
that.
families that the ones they're fighting, and then like the Strong family overwatches them, and they're talking about, well, these families have been warring this whole time. It's the same ones from the Game of Thrones Telltale game.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
Because I remember it was all about the woods and shit with them.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I couldn't remember what their names were in the game.
Yeah,
But that makes sense. God, more people should play that game. It's so good.
that game was good. That one was good. I wish. I mean, clearly it was built for a sequel in mind, and it did not get it. But
Danny over here saying Aemon II doesn't want to be king, just horny and drunk all the time. Danny, you don't got to censor yourself. This is Twitch Tuesday. You can stay horny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's gonna be hung. Harney?
Horny.
Hirney. No, that doesn't make sense to me. No, yeah, that kid sucks.
I guess I like that he pulled a Highlander out the window. That what's his name? The Thomas or whatever.
Yeah.
He jumped out from. I thought that was a cool. I don't even know what you would call it. It was not an Easter egg. It's clearly the same window that he killed himself from.
Right. I think the only other thing that sticks out for me on this episode is
Tolman. That's his name.
it's that big fucking dragon.
I was going to say the big fucking dragon. We got to talk about the dragon.
The dragon's so fucking big.
I really love that it's huge and it also looks like it's worn down.
Yeah.
Because it's super old.
Yeah, I like that it's like literally an ancient dragon in lore. It's the fucking
I
dragon.
love that they're like making the dragons look different and distinctive.
Yeah, because I think back in like Game of Thrones, I won't lie, they like one was black and the other two looked kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. So I like that with a show with this many dragons. I think it has to be done.
Yeah, I like that we're seeing more like worm-like builds with like with daemons, and we're seeing the fucking unit. That semi truck of a dragon, Jesus Christ, dude!
But I also love that they showed how hard it is to ride a dragon.
Yeah,
that's something that I never thought about. Like it would take forever to get on top of this bitch.
Right.
And when he got hit in the face with all those birds, I was like, "Yo, that's a scary moment."
Dude. Are you fucking kidding me? How fast that thing is going?
Vagar goes on. This is Game of Thrones. This is Westeros.
I know. Danny says, big eyes. Also, what'd you call me? Anyway, yeah, this episode's really good. This episode's good. I hope they keep that shit up. Hope they keep doing that good shit, or I'm gonna get mad.
I agree. Hope they keep it up. How many episodes are left? There's like two episodes left. We're near the end.
Yeah, we are creeping. But they've already said that there's gonna be a season 2.
There's a season 2.
Guess we'll see. But I like that in the preview for the next episode, the kid has like a fucking gnarly like eye patch, and he's like,
yeah. So question for you: would you rather have your both eyes, or have a dragon?
But if I have a dragon, I'm missing an eye.
If you have a dragon, you're missing an eye.
In this world, both eyes, and here's why.
Yeah.
Here's why. That dragon's gonna get fucking killed in this world.
You think so?
I'm not. Listen, I get one ride with that dragon, and the government comes in and they're like, "You're fucked. We don't know how you did it. But you think I'm not getting black bagged and disappearing, and they're gonna ask me how I got a fucking dragon into this world? And I'm like, well, on Twitch Tuesday, Nat asked me if I wanted to have an eye, and now I'm missing an eye, and then they take my dragon and they kill it, and now I'm just me in my normal life without an eye, and they audit me every year on my taxes. Nah. Also,
it says, "Do I get to choose which eye?"
No, it's gonna be the left eye again. It's gonna be this.
You don't get to choose. Not like the other kid. What's his name? Lucerys.
Yeah, which is pretty unfortunate because my right eye is the one that needs to go. This one's my worst one. This is my better eye. So it would literally be my good eye. And no, yeah. So I would love to have a dragon. I'd love to be able to ride one. I'd love to be able to just blow fire and be fucking madness. But in this world, in this economy, owning a dragon, that thing's gonna fly away. I can't fucking afford to feed a dragon. I don't even know what that thing that
I was gonna bring up. What if you never had to feed it?
If I never had to feed it and I had to take care of it, still no. For all the government reasons I mentioned before, they're gonna
fucking have to clean up its poop or anything. Just
my god, that'd be so. Oh my god, like it just has a self-sustaining like photosynthesis. Like,
well, it takes care of itself. It's housebroken. It goes to Siberia to poop or something.
Where would it land, Nat?
It's like Antarctica. It would fly to Antarctica and drop big, massive dumps.
Oh my god, this dragon. I will say that riding on a dragon to I'm like, hey Nat, I'm gonna go to Arizona. Be there in an hour or two. I fucking ride the dragon. That'd be sick. All right, so here's
imagine how much you save on travel if they didn't kill the dragon.
Here would be the one exception if I get to keep Modern Dragon. Modern Dragon, I get to keep this dragon. Everybody minds my own fucking business with this dragon. I get to do, I'm not gonna if I go Grand Theft Auto with this dragon, I do get the police and shit on me, right? But if I just have this as an exotic pet and nobody fucking,
I don't understand why you would do Grand Theft Auto if you have a dragon. You don't need to steal anyone's car.
Well, no, you'd be blowing up cars and you'd be causing rampage and chaos.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
The stars would be coming up on you, right? My car sounds like a dragon, says William. So, what's really funny? Now that I'm looking at your picture, it also shows you losing an eye to your cat here.
Oh.
Harold. So this really is. Maybe you're the one who need to be asking this question. So no, I'm going to keep both my fucking eyes, Nat, because I still like having both. I like having depth perception, for starters.
When I asked you this question, I didn't consider that the government would be after my dragon.
The implications of the fucking government coming after your dragon.
But if I didn't have to worry about that, or feeding it, or cleaning up after it, and it was just it just fucks off to the wilderness when I don't need it. I think it would take the dragon, because imagine you don't have to work a single day in your life. You're an automatic celebrity.
Says who? Oh well, okay, that's true. You throw an Instagram up and you're making millions on this dragon.
Yeah. And then you get to ride the sick ass dragon everywhere. Who doesn't want to fuck a guy with a dragon? I'm just saying.
I'll ask Cam later. So as we transition out of the hot D talk, here's a fun little tweet I saw recently that I meant to post into the C2A chat because I know all the women will have thoughts about it. There's a tweet I saw that said that women only really only find really hot men attractive if they're a little ugly. I don't know if you've seen this before.
No.
So, and yeah, they were I think the super hot guys are a little ugly, to be honest. And they kept citing, I saw a lot of people cite Mads Mikkelsen as an example of this. Matt Smith is probably kind of up there as well.
Yeah, Matt Smith is a good-looking guy, but he's a little bit ugly.
Matt's a little ugly, but he's a good-looking dude. And it doesn't make sense, but it does when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
There's something about being too pretty.
He's not not cookie cutter, kind of good looking.
No, I think he's attractive in an unconventional way. His features don't necessarily match the attractive features of normally exist. I think if we look at I think a standard for too handsome, I think for a lot of people is Ryan Reynolds to an extent. I think most men agree that Ryan Reynolds is unfairly handsome.
That was always my opinion of Armie Hammer, who's this very handsome guy, but nothing about him.
What about John Hamm? Do you think John Hamm's too handsome?
John Hamm is very handsome.
He's incredible, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I think John Hamm is conventionally handsome.
I do. I think he's conventionally handsome, though. I think he looks like he could be a Bond at any point, and that's kind of a bar for him for being kind of a little too handsome. But then I follow up with that and say Daniel Craig is a little unhandsome too.
Yeah, he has those big ears.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool scars is sexy as fuck. I don't hate it. He hangs Shadow Dong in the first movie, so
He does. That's the true thing.
that's important. I believe it too. Yeah, so I think that's an interesting discussion worth having. I really wish Kelsey was on the show to talk about that because I think she'd be like, yes, but she also would probably just find
Well, we
ugly.
talked about it when we were talking about our celebrity crushes.
That's true. That's true.
And for me, I think Margot Robbie is like way too perfect, and that's why she doesn't make my top
Yeah,
10.
she's pretty far over in the spectrum. Like I
Yeah.
definitely see that. Which I think is funny that we would say that, and then we both rate Barbara Palvin, who I think we both think is like immaculate,
Mm-hmm.
but perfectly immaculate. She's not so far out of the range of like. I think there's like a range where it's just like I think I could like if we got stuck in like in a situation, I could like talk to them. I
Yeah,
feel like that there's a human aspect that they're like. I think that she's like kind of fun, relatable, but that's her job is to come off as fun, relatable, and likable. But she's doing a good job of it.
she is. You see that picture where she dressed up as Gaara from Naruto with Dylan Sprouse, who was I think he had a Rock Lee costume or something.
I didn't. What? This isn't a real thing. Hold on.
I'll pull it up. I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, go look it up. Go look it up. Anyway, so if anybody doesn't want to talk about losing eyes and dragons, we're gonna wrap the episode a little bit by talking about.
Oh, okay. So her boyfriend, Dylan
Yeah,
Sprouse, was future Trunks.
Oh, okay. And then who was she?
She was Gaara.
She was still Gaara.
Yeah.
Wait, you pulled this picture up though.
I'm bringing it up. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, but I need to see this. Hold on, I'm like, what? So clearly they had to have been interested in their own stuff then, because you don't pick two different anime characters from two different like anime franchises.
Do you have the share screen option? Because I don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. It's different now. It says present.
Yeah, I know it's a little weird. I don't know why they wanted to change the wording on it.
There you go.
Hold on, let me see this real quick.
Let me get rid of the hot detox.
That's pretty. I was kind of expecting a little shittier cosplay. I don't know why, but I mean, no, she's a model. That's pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
Pretty sick.
Who allowed that? Honestly, and Dylan Sprouse's Trunks is pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
That's really good. Keller, talk about a wholesome surprise in the end for me there.
Yeah,
I like to take the more high ground knowing that she likes Dylan's too. So, but
all differently though.
Yeah.
Actually,
anyway,
no, not the same.
Yeah. Andor. Let's get there. So you haven't seen episode 4, have you?
How do you know me so goddamn well?
Okay, no, I knew as soon as you watched those first 3, you were like, I don't need to see it.
You're half wrong. I've seen half of Andor, the last episode, and then I went on TikTok.
Son of a bitch. So what was the last thing you saw in episode 4, first of all?
Honestly, I don't remember. I literally watched it last night. So the last thing I saw was Cassian Andor and was it Val or Vel?
Yeah, he probably just was hanging out with
he was just hanging out with her. There were some like TIE fighters going above them. They hid behind a rock.
Honestly, that scene in itself I want to talk about, because that scene, what I love about Rogue One and like the Rogue One tone that Andor is kind of carried is that they remind you how fucking scary the Empire is supposed to feel, right?
Yeah.
Those ties, like we've heard that sound like hundreds of times, but those ties are like they sound fucking scary when they're coming up on them. I feel like it just brings back to. Danny says I haven't seen any episodes. Danny,
yeah, but Danny, are you ever gonna watch the show? Because I'm pretty sure you still haven't seen Boba Fett.
You haven't seen Danny. You haven't watched most of this. Here's what I'll say about Andor to people who are like mildly interested, but kind of like another fucking thing I have to watch. Is that man? First of all, I think we can both say this. The acting and production quality of this is fantastic.
This is so good. It looks amazing.
Insane. This feels movie quality throughout. Like this doesn't feel like. And maybe it's the She-Hulk, the distinction I have to have every week with this. But I'll watch She-Hulk and I'm like, this definitely feels like TV budget. And then I watch Andor and I'm like, this acting and everything feels like it's a fucking movie. Like these feel like scenes shot for, made for, and acted as a movie. And you're like, wow. What's his face? I don't remember the actor's name, but he's the kind of like Cassian's handler right now.
Yeah, so that's the guy I was confused
Listen.
about. Was he in Rogue One?
I don't remember actually.
Because I like that. This guy looks really familiar, but I don't know where I know him from.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. Somebody who's watched Rogue One more recently than I have can probably chime in on that. I don't want to say that they were. I don't think that Luthen was in Rogue One, but I could be wrong on that.
It's Stellan Skarsgård. So
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård. I had to go look it up myself. Right. Yeah. So Luthen in this one, fucking killing it. Like Stellan Skarsgård is pretty good, but yeah, like him in that role where he's sitting there and playing just kind of like that, like, no, I know you, Cassian. As that, like, the whole little talk they have where it's just like, well, we could sit here, do this, or we could go fuck, or whatever he says. I don't know. Everything he says to that energy is like solid. I love a character who kind of like knows it all and is using it, and but is unafraid to use it. Right, very much has a weapon and will shoot it.
Yeah,
as like a character type. Mon Mothma was not in the episodes you had watched. For those wondering at home,
I was wondering.
Mon Mothma only came in on this episode.
Who's Mon Mothma?
Mon Mothma, you may have stopped watching right before the scene started with her, ironically enough. But she's the politician that goes to visit Luthen whenever they're back in Coruscant.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten there.
Literally, I promise you, Nat, this is the funniest thing to me. This is why I'm like double laughing, because I knew it was going to be the case. If you didn't watch this episode, or if you watched part of it, you would stop right before Mon Mothma's scenes actually came in. Because I was watching this and I was like, when is she supposed to roll in? She's a pretty big character in the Star Wars side.
Mon Mothma. I like that you didn't correct me when I said Mon Mothma.
Yeah, no, I let you hold that
one. I'm 19 minutes in, so should be free. I just pulled it up and checked. I got to the part where that one lady was like saying the thing, and then the other guy was like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so you recently caught up with all 4 episodes.
Yeah, so I finally sat down and I just was binging them because I just got back from getting my tattoo touched up. I got some color filled in. Part 2 of 6, 2 of 5, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So part 2 of 5 done. And I came home and I was like, all right, let me just lay down. I'm just gonna watch something. I don't want to do something too interactive. So I put on Andor. And the first 5 or 10 minutes of this is gripping. They pull you in really quickly, I think. Now you're scratching your chin, I don't know. But it's like,
well, I'm just itchy. I wasn't me scratching my
I know.
What you saying?
So whenever it gets to the bar and there's that tension, and by the time they're getting in, they're holding him up in the alley, I was like, oh shit. We're hitting the pedal fast on how dramatic it gets, right?
This is the part that I recapped. That was
I know. This is your recap with it. So yeah. I will say that the dramatic tension goes from up and then flatlines for a while. And by the time it comes back, it's kind of a lot of loose tension with little beats here and there as the squad comes rolling in. But by the end of episode 2, I mean, yeah, I definitely see why they released all 3 episodes at once, because those would have been much harder episodes without the big picture. Because those 3 episodes are very much their own little mini arc with Luna, with whatever Cassian Andor popping off the island and kind of getting started doing his Cassian Andor shit. But I think overall, I'm just respecting the tone of it. It just feels good to have Star Wars feel like it's taking itself seriously, and I think having an espionage political drama, I like that shit, and I forget how much I like that stuff. I remember watching Winter Soldier, and I'm just kind of getting not full on vibes the same way as Winter Soldier, but same genre vibes. And it just reminds me, I'm like, oh yeah, I do like this stuff. It's every time I put on a James Bond and they're actually doing the spy stuff, the espionage stuff, I'm like, oh, I do like this stuff, huh? And it's always just that pleasant reminder. And that's kind of how I feel about Cassian Andor. Do I feel like it's particularly amazing so far? No, I think so far it's just doing a good enough job to be good. Without necessarily having to be great, without actually having to flesh out super deep characters, but it's just fun. It's an easy watch. Ben Rayner says, hey guys. Hey, Ben. I'm glad you came in before we were going to be wrapping this episode soon here, Ben. So you hang tight anyway, Ben. Loving Andor, says Ben. Ben, what do you love about Andor? I've been talking about how much I love the tone and production value of it, and that's been doing a lot of favors for it. I think if this was Here's the funny thing, though. I feel like if this is any less produced, I probably am. I'm much less interested and less hot on it. I think if this had like a She-Hulk budget, like and I only got the events I've gotten so far, I'd be like, come on, like, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from. Like, I agree that the tone and the production value are definitely my two favorite things about the series.
Yeah.
I think that although it's really good to look at and the production is really good, that is not enough to like captivate me as someone who's not super into Star Wars.
Fair.
So that's where I'm at. But I really wish that I was more into Star Wars because this feels like a really good show that I'm just not picking up on some of the things that they're putting down.
So I will say the stone and the story are the stone and the story are A+ for me. Yeah, I mean I think that's fair. I think that the story is it's still warming up. That's the thing for me, right? Like we still haven't got to the big picture, right? So far we finished a mini arc. We're starting another little mini arc is what it feels like. But we're starting to see Leshen kind of pull in the big picture of how the resistance is all tied in, right? Tone. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it being dark, gritty, kind of playing pretty strong with that. Oh, I loved episode 3 when everybody's banging on the chimes and it's like Andor's like
that was really good.
She's sitting there talking to the guys, kind of like getting them kind of like scared up on it. She's like, yeah, pretty intimidating, huh? She was like, yeah, but it's whenever it stops. That's when you need to be afraid.
Wow.
Like that whole little thing was fucking nailed it, dude. That scene is so good.
That was really good.
And I kind of expected a more bigger thing to happen, but I kind of like that it just like everything started falling apart. Also, Cyril, which is the Karn, he's the guy who's working a little too hard at the Corpo agency. That guy, man, you love to see that guy fail.
That guy has the perfect face for the role that he's playing.
He does. I recognize him from other things, though. And I'm trying to remember where I recognize him from, and I'm trying to go look. He's in Bodies. He's for Horizon Zero Dawn voice actor. Oh, it's news to me. He's actually a video game actor. He's a bigger video game actor than I give him credit for. I don't know where I know him from then. Because I'm seeing a lot of these be like voice actor credits.
What is his name in the show?
In the show, he is known as Cyril Kane. Or Cyril Karn, rather.
Oh, he's the second person on this list. I was like looking through the cast, like who where is he?
So interesting little like possible spoiler here. IMDb only has him listed for 4 episodes, and that would be the first 4 episodes. So I wonder if we're actually done with him, which would make sense. But the way the show keeps on showing him, even into episode 4, going back to his mom's place.
So I don't think IMDb is actually a good way to see how many episodes characters are in.
Yeah.
So I feel like this has been the case with other shows as well, where they said, I think it was House of the Dragon, where they said Olivia Cook was in all the episodes. I was like, that's not true.
Yeah. I was about to say, she is definitely not. But no, I'm intrigued to see overall, I guess, like what comes next, right? That's kind of like the big talk is like, all right. So this mission goes off without a hitch or it starts getting Rogue One-y again. I think that's the other okay, that's the big part I like about it is that we're starting to see like, okay, are all these side characters going to start fucking eating it like Rogue One? Or whenever the tension hits, are we still going to start seeing people die again? Because that's what made what makes Rogue One that really stand out as a Star Wars movie is that it made it feel like war. There had to be losses. There had to be sacrifice. There had to be betrayals. I want to see Andor go on a mission. They go dirty and he has to scrub the whole mission. And then Leshen's like, yeah, you did the right thing. You had to fucking kill him,
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to hurt people in our cause, but they fucked it up. So
yeah, no, I definitely would be interested in seeing that. I really like the character of Andor where he is a good person, but like he kills when he has to. Like
right.
First 5 minutes of the first episode. I think that if they have that aspect of his character then more fleshed out, I would probably be more interested in seeing what happens. But for now, I'm just kind of like I'm enjoying the ride. Not super invested, but I'm going to be watching week to week.
Yeah, I think finish up the episode. I think you'll be more pleasantly surprised because Mon Mothma comes in really interesting. I think fairly interesting right off the cuff.
Yeah.
With what they give you.
So I started this episode last night.
Yeah.
Like I said, TikTok distracted me, and then I got home, and I had an hour to get ready for the show.
Mhm.
I want to pull up Andor. Nope, TikTok.
Nope. He TikToked his time away. Anyway, so I guess we'll wrap the episode by sitting here and saying that we are officially sponsored by fucking nobody. Why? We're the fucking best show on the internet on Tuesday evenings, and we're not sponsored by anybody. So if you got a sponsor that wants to sponsor us, you tell them, DM us. I don't know. Don't tell them to DM C2A. They ain't fucking doing shit. We're doing all the work. Magus is doing work too, but we're doing all the other work. Give us some money. Danny donated $7 or something today. We're not going to see a dime of that.
You know what? Doing $7. I think he deserves to have his question read. He says, "How do y'all like the Black Panther trailer? Pleasantly surprised that Namor winged feet didn't look goofy in live action."
I knew us forgetting something to wrap the episode with. I think it's a good episode wrap discussion.
Yeah.
New Black Panther trailer. So we get one reveal that Shuri is definitely
That's it, like in Baku, like you were theorizing.
Possibly a Black Panther.
Yeah, that's true.
Possibly,
I hope that's the case.
I hope it goes into it. I hope that we are Wakanda, and then it makes it that there are other multiple Black Panthers. That'd be fucking sick. That's what I want out of it. So we saw a little bit of Namor, a little bit more of him. We saw him fucking hop skipping in the air, double jumping with these wings.
He looks so good doing that.
And honestly, it looks fucking sick. Like honestly,
it's so cool. Just look out.
Yeah. The new trailer is good enough.
I thought it was fine. Like I don't think
it felt like a trailer's the extra. It doesn't really do anything like narrative selling. It just kind of gives us more scenes.
Yeah.
We got to see first prototype of Ironheart's suit, which is pretty sick.
Other than that, I don't feel like there was much there's much to talk about here. I don't think this trailer was necessary. The movie comes out in a month, and just because the first trailer was so good that I don't think they could have done anything more to hype me up more than I already am. I tell you what, they show this trailer in front of every single movie that I see, and I see movies all the time, and not once has this trailer failed to get me so fucking hyped. It's so good.
So I was about to say the only thing really worth talking about is the Ironheart suit design, which I want to pull up really quick. Can we get rid of the Andor spoilers? Yeah. And I just like that it has like so many fucking jets. Like it has the back jets. It kind of has like a Gundam-like design.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it. I think it kind of looks very like Gundam Mecha Suit inspired in that way. Also, the people are hella blue.
Hella blue.
Boom. All right, I will say that. All right, seeing the suit absorb a shock on it, that's always cool. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I hope they continue to show the first trailer. This is just extra footage that they're just like, hey, in case for whatever reason you weren't sold after that for last trailer. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it's a little extra. I mean, honestly, I'm just like, whatever. Fucking, I'll just go.
I think that that studio should get into the habit of just releasing one trailer.
Really? I mean, I agree. Because I think when you get into the point where you're showing too much.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is it. I feel like this is, honestly, it's a smidge. It's not too much, but it's extra, and I don't need it. I don't like, just let me watch it. Let me watch it in the movie. But we're conservative. We're conservative in our movie watching.
I would. So I tweeted out that I would love like the what's it called? What's the movie with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet? Mind. Yeah. I would love if the machine in that movie was real, but just to erase memories of trailers.
Honestly, if you catch a spoiler, then you're like, gotta go back to that.
They just give away way too much in trailers. I'm just gonna say it. Like with comedies, I find that they usually have their funniest bit in the trailer.
Comedies in horror, I think, are the worst trailers to watch.
Oh my god, horror. So over the last weekend, I saw Smile.
How was that, by the way?
It was really good, but the scariest part of the movie was in the trailer, where the girl knocks on the window on the car, and then her head, like if that was not shown in the trailer, and I saw that in the movie, I would have been shocked.
Yeah. So here's the best part. I've heard about Smile a whole lot, and I've heard his pitch, and I haven't watched the trailer. So
Oh.
now you've just spoiled that for me, which is inherently us.
Well, you're probably gonna forget it, right?
No, I won't. Now the more we talk about me needing to forget it, the more I'm remembering it.
But I was pretty vague. You're fine.
Oh my god, this movie's fucking ruined already. I can't. I avoid the trailer, and that comes in here and ruins it on Twitch.
There's also this scene in the trailer where someone's and she's like, "You're gonna die, and then she's all freaked out.
So the premise I've kind of heard about it is that it's like it follows with smiling. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That's it.
And
The smiling,
I'm on board with that.
yeah, I think it follows as a stronger movie.
Yeah.
But the whole smiling aspect is not really like it's not like you smile at someone and then they get it. That's not how it works.
I was about to say I didn't imagine it was that easy because I'm like, man, talk about an incredibly easy thing to spread.
But it does do the thing of going from person to person.
So it creates that you never know who to trust mentality behind the characters.
Not necessarily.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil the movie. I won't spoil the movie.
Say less. Let me go watch it on streaming or whatever I'll end up watching it on. I probably won't go at the theaters for it. So.
Yeah. Speaking of blue people, this is a transition from when you talk about Wakanda Forever, but we have since moved on. But I had that segue in my mind, so we're gonna say it anyway.
Sure.
This is a hot take. I recently saw Avatar in
Avatar 1.
Yes, Avatar 1 in 3D in theaters, the re-release.
Yes.
And hot take, I think Avatar is underrated.
Underrated.
I feel like people have been saying it's overrated for so long that it has now.
It's now looped back around.
It's looped back around. It's a good movie. I mean, it doesn't have a ton of substance, but it looks really good. And so at the end of Avatar 1, the re-release, they showed a scene, like a 5-minute scene of Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. Holy shit. There's a huge difference between. I would hope so, because that one came out years ago.
Like a decade plus ago.
A decade plus ago. But like, right? The scene from the second movie just looks incredible.
Yeah.
And it looks way better than the trailers have hinted at. So super excited about that now. Danny says, I want to see Barbarian first, then Smile. Absolutely see Barbarian first, because Barbarian is one of the best movies of the year.
Okay, if I only get to watch one, the Barbarian or the Northman, what do I watch?
The Northman is my favorite movie of the year. Is the number one. I feel like Barbarian has a better chance of being liked.
Which is people. Yeah. Honestly, I've talked to a buddy of mine who I watch movies with, and he was like, "The Northman, dude, that ain't it." He was not hot on it.
That's so good.
Apparently, there's some contention behind it. I'm intrigued to see where that is and where I'm going to land on it. Barbarian, I've heard, seems a little bit more universally beloved.
Yeah. So Barbarian is an example of a movie whose trailer does not give anything away, which is why it's awesome. Because there's an actor in this movie that when he showed up, I was like, "Holy, this guy's in this movie!" I had no idea. So he's easily the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
But I definitely recommend Barbarian. It's this year's Malevolent. So
that's an interesting choice on that. But
Malevolent, that's the movie with the.
You're thinking Maleficent.
No.
I know.
That's what I was confused. I was like, did I say Maleficent? That's the Snow White.
That's the Disney movie, yeah. With Angelina Jolie. And I think Elle Fanning.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, Showdown's dead, so that's useless knowledge now.
That's it. I don't need to be studying for possibly being a manager anymore.
Nope.
He's dead.
Can I still just be like Zipper or Chandra's manager, like in life?
Like in real life, yeah.
Can I just move to LA and then like downgrade my work to be like a life coach? That's effectively managing, right?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Put your psychology degree to good use.
It's not even wouldn't even be a psychology degree. It's a counseling master's and a sociology bachelor's.
Sure.
Well, okay, I have a minor in psychology. Right? Let me not take away. It's like it's a minor associate, but Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna go ahead and call it on today. But hang
Listen, we're not gonna be rating anyone on Twitch because I've been
besides
rating every week, and it's just me. You guys have not been showing up on Twitch.
no,
You're just
you guys bail immediately after, which is a shame because Sasha Grey is playing Cult of the Lamb right now.
So we could have been rating Chris Adams. We could have been rating Shug, but we're not going to because you guys have not been showing up. So we're just gonna cut the stream. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.